Here's an experiment you're going to fail. Everyone does. I still do after 30 years, more often than I would actually like to say. And the way you fail it explains why every breathing exercise you've ever tried has quietly stopped working. Put your attention on the breath right now, just while you're watching this. Don't deepen the breath. Don't slow the breath down. Don't tighten the breath up. Just observe. Now notice what happened. If you're like almost everyone, your mind started managing it, lengthen the inhale a little, it might smooth the exhale, maybe it reached and grabbed for the next inhale or the next breath before this one is finished. You were asked to observe and your mind actually heard an instruction to do. That's not a personal failing. The mind is a doing instrument. It's been rewarded for doing your entire adult life, especially if you're the capable one, the person that everyone relies on. Managing isn't a habit you have, it's an operating system that you run on. The breath is simply the smallest operating room your controlling mind walks into. Now, here's why it matters for every technique you've downloaded. It could be like box breathing, it could be the coherence app or anything else you've actually downloaded. When you give yourself a technique, who delivers it? The same managing mind, the same busybody mind, the one that can't watch a breath without correcting it, the one that turned rest actually into a task, and is currently trying to do the relaxation properly. So the technique never interrupts the pattern absorbs the technique. Breathwork becomes one more thing you're performing, one more place effort lives. This is why someone can practice daily for years with real discipline, actually, and still be unable to take a full deep breath. The discipline is the problem wearing solutions clothes, if you like. And the research actually supports this distinction. Deliberately changing the breath and breath awareness without interference are like two different practices working through different mechanisms. Almost everything online teaches control because control can be demonstrated in 60 seconds. Awareness actually can't be demonstrated in 60 seconds. There's nothing to show. There's only what your mind does with the moment you actually start to try, like when you did it a few moments ago. So here's the second layer, and it's the one no video can solve, including this one. When you fail this experiment, you can't feel how you're failing. The brace in your chest, the half-second hold at the inhale, the exhale you cut short. These don't register because actually they're fundamentally like your baseline, a pattern that you've actually been running for 20 years, 30 years, or however long. It doesn't feel like a pattern. It feels like you. In my own practice, I've spent years on this, using my body as a laboratory. And when observation finally becomes just observation, no correcting, no reaching, the breath changes on its own. It lengthens, it deepens, it expands into spaces it wasn't ever using. Nobody does that. The system corrects itself the instant it stops being supervised, and that's actually the key. Your breath doesn't need your help either. By the way, neither does your sleep. It runs on exactly the same principle. You can't see the pattern you're standing in. Someone else needs to see that for you, and that's what an experienced eye does in the room. Watches your system in real time, catches the interference before it hides, and shapes the work around what's actually there rather than what a protocol assumes. That's not something I can do through a screen, and it's not something you can do by yourself. Not because you lack the ability, but because the observer and the pattern are the same person. So keep the techniques if they serve you, but if you've exhausted them and you suspect the problem was never the technique, you're probably right. The practice was never breathing better. it was interfering less.